What's going on, guys? Section H Gaming is back with part 2 of the Dominion of Delhi campaign. As we saw in the first part, just finished the war in Afghanistan, was able to get a lot of our territory back, did not push further in, just because it was getting quite costly on our infantry equipment, and I really just didn't have what I thought to be strong enough advantage to push all the way in it. So let's go ahead and take radio as our next research. Go ahead and put it on 3-speed just in case there's some events. Have a lot of Canadian forces here, which is good. I'm sure they're heading back though, and really now I just need to strengthen my economy and infrastructure. Waiting on the 1936 elections to be held. Let's see here. Even though it says that there's no elections to be held, that's interesting. But let's go ahead and... Okay, so Imperial Durbar of 1936, last held in 1911 in honor of the late George V. The Imperial Durbar was a massive event celebrating the coronation of the new British monarch, as well as the moment for important proclamations regarding the state. Now, with Afghanistan defeated by the Indians and the British Empire still in danger, many expect the new monarch, Edward, to have his powers further weakened by an empowered legislature. However, he is still seen as uniting entity among the disparate ethnic, cultural, and religious groups that make up the subcontinent. There's also the presence of former Lord of Admiralty Winston Churchill. He and the Indian Empire Society are extremely popular among British loyalists. He is known to be in contact with the King. Let's take Winston Churchill. I'm pleasantly surprised with this option. Big Winston Churchill fan. Let's go ahead and select him. And we have the Raj Authority now. Creation of the International Avant-Garde, Commune of France, Union of Britain have created that. So, all right. So, 36 election has still not been held. I have Winston Churchill here, and I thought for sure the election would let me take that, but all right. So. Don't have too many options. We can go with spending the mines, I guess. And let's see here, modify government, 160. We can take let's take Tata Steel. I believe that's going to be my first. There's also a new pope that's been elected. Italy on this mod's kind of interesting. I think at one point there's a papal state, but they took that away. Let's go ahead and join and invest our political power for that. I think at one point there's a papal state in Rome, but there's not anymore. Okay, so IEDC advisors. Contribution to the IEDC allows us to take advantage of the pool of advisors, benefit from which is greater depending on how much we contributed. How shall we use them? Definitely need to... I think take construction engineers, get the 20% construction bonus. I'm really struggling right now, construction-wise. I have like no factories. So let's see here. All right, so yeah, there's in the original Kaiserreich, I believe Italy is split even more, because I believe like there's Sardinia and the Papal State and another country maybe up here. But that's not the case in this mod. I guess they decided that that was a little bit too much and like too hard. Nobody could really do much on that. So let's go ahead and get rid of some of these templates. Let's go ahead and delete infantry 2 and 3, cavalry 2, light infantry, loyalist militia, and armored division. And then let me see in my stores how much I have. I have 60 artillery and need a lot more than that to design the division I'm wanting. Need more support equipment as well. So let's go ahead and find that one garrison division I have.
Adesh.
And since we're no longer fighting in the mountains, let's go ahead and change our general. to David Cohen, the one that was on this front originally. And we have negative 31 political power, which is nice. Great. Okay, so I've got, let's do all news. I mean, it's not bothering me too much. I just want to read most of the news to you guys that doesn't pertain to our country. And we are able to create 28 guns a day, which is not great for a country, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and build up some more political power, and maybe we can go to partial MOB. We've got the war support for that, and that would really help me out building some stuff and everything. Okay, so Indian Empire Society, founded after the British Revolution by aristocrats and colonial military generals. Indian Empire Society was founded as a think tank to establish how best for the remnant British Empire to maintain its grip over the Indian subcontinent. With a legitimate British government fleeing to Canada, many believed the issues of the colonies were pointless compared to the main issue of retaking the home isles. However, the IES has put forward the notion that by securing colonies, the resources and manpower will be crucial for the empire's restoration. For the past decade, the IES has been mainly situated in Delhi, where it has found support among pro-British Indian elite who believe that the colonial system can be developed in a more inclusive system whilst providing stability for the subcontinent. The leader, Winston Churchill, has worked to improve relations with the natives whilst also working with the more authoritarian Indian Defence League, who are committed solely to complete British rule. IES currently remains divided, with the moderate reformers wishing to grant more autonomy to Indian subjects, whilst the hardliness expressed their views of British supremacy. Churchill now finds some stuff stuck in the middle, attempting to appease both sides. Churchill's the man for the job. Alright, so invest in civilian factories, IEDC investment. We can get one civilian factory, one military factory, and one dockyard. We're going to take that civilian factory. Thank the Lord. And still have a lot of Canadian and French troops here. I'm not really sure what's the deal with that, but Afghanistan also lost their king, it looks like. This is not the guy that was in charge when we were fighting. We cannot justify a war goal until 50% world tension. See what everybody else is doing. Russian Republic still. Norway, see, getting a little bit close to communism there. Sweden as well. Finland, paternal autocrats. German Empire. The Kaiser himself. Italian Federation led by the Pope. Jackals of Kenya. Okay, King Edward offers his support to Churchill. Upon hearing the news that Churchill has ascended the role of Governor General of India, King Edward VIII has offered his support and best wishes, publicly expressing his belief that Churchill is the right man for the job and a leader of excellent abilities. The newly crowned king has been eager to work with the Dominion. Equally, Churchill has declared his undying loyalty to the crown, stating that India will always be ready to fight for the empire. Jackals of Kenya. I'm talking about the Bush War, I guess. And let's go ahead and unpause here. It's ironic that in the real timeline that Winston Churchill would be assuming power in England in like 5 years. Maybe even 1940. Maybe in the late 1940, 41. I can't remember when Neville Chamberlain stepped down. I think it was maybe after the defeat of the British forces in Europe the first time. And the evacuation of Dunkirk. It may have been then. I'm not sure. I have to look that up. And most of our allies are leaving now, which is okay. 74 artillery, 4.3k guns, deficit. Going to be working on that for a little while. Let's see here. And this is just kind of a lull in the gameplay. I feel like I'm going to go up to speed 4. And I'd like to get an intelligence agency as fast as possible, but I really just need to work on getting a few more civilian factories. And working on expanding the mines right now, which will be good. Then I can take the Indian Economy Act, and that'll get me down in here some big factories. 2, 3, and 3. So that'll give me 8 civilian factories, which will be huge, and military factories as well. I think I'm going to rush down that tree. Okay, so fractured society. This will be a long read. Indian Empire Society may claim to be a unified force fighting to defend India's best interests. However, from those within the society, it's clear that there exists a major divide among the members. Faction is dominated mainly by native Indian aristocracy and promotes loyalty to the empire, whilst also advocating for moderate reforms aimed at keeping the populace content. The reformers are mostly members of the Unionist Party, which have pushed for further Indian representation. And then hardline imperialists serve as opposing factors. Most members belong to the culturally supremacist Indian Defense League. The faction espouses the belief in its duty to superior British to save colonials from themselves by enforcing Western values upon them, believe that only those who dominate the caste system are worthy enough of governing, and how they should remain below the British. These members are wealthy merchants, military generals, aristocratic politicians, and the remnants of the Raj colonial system. Churchill must make a decision which of these factions. Let's see, so stability, social conservatism. We're going to take national populism. What is our... I want to stay with Churchill. But I think I also need the stability and to keep everybody happy. So we're going to let them reform it a little bit, which is good. I think I don't really know what's going to happen, if that's going to hurt me in the long run or not, as far as a military standpoint or anything. But let me get rid of that garrison division here. I will convert them to something else. Let's go ahead and convert them just to the infantry templates, so that way I can delete that garrison. And then we've got our Gurkha rifles here. Go ahead and add an engineer company to them, and support artillery. Combat width 12. So that's 16. That's 18. Do 7-2 on those. It's going to put me over the Special Forces cap, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and do 6-3. And then we'll see kind of what our equipment looks like there. So we need 400 artillery pieces. The big boys. But that's okay. I wouldn't assume that I'll be fighting anybody for at least a year or so. So we'll have a little bit of time to make that up. Then I want to convert all my infantry to 7.2s, I believe. I really like to do 14.4s, but I just don't think that's going to be possible right now until I can get my factories and everything built up and my resources secure. So let's go ahead and take the Indian Economy Act. Our new Prime Minister has decided to enact a major economic reform act, expected to encounter debate and resistance of the princes. So let's go ahead and do that, make everybody's life a little bit better. Fuel, current fuel, daily gain 134. I have 41 army experience still, which is good. Mechanical computing. Republic of Cuba destroying the Union of Kokand. I don't know if that is who that is, but that's okay. Kumo. Okay, a lot of war in China, it looks like. And let's see here. Let's go ahead and no longer get the effects of Imperial Advisors. That's unfortunate. A little bit more war there. let's go ahead and take infantry equipment 1. Then I'll go just get some more rifles, maybe. So, well, actually, might have been wrong. I don't think that was where I thought it was. I don't know where that war is. Alright guys, I apologize, this is a little bit slower than I thought it was going to be. I thought there was going to be some sort of early wars. I wish there was in Afghanistan, but okay, so here's the Republic of Kaukand, Social Liberals, fighting against the Emirate of Bukhara. Let's see here, I'm not really sure. And then, of course, we have the Republic of Khiva there, too. Republic of Khiva just capitulated. So, that'll be interesting. I wish that there was not this little sliver of Afghanistan here. There's mountains there. I couldn't pass it anyways, which is okay. So, Afghanistan. I'd really like to declare war on them again and take them over. Eventually, but I really need to focus on training up my army. To fight against the other factions in India first, to try to unite that, and then I think we'll have to probably push into the Chinese area before long, depending on who wins. Then we could also take the Republic of Iran if we wanted to. There's a couple options. I'd like to, let's see, East Turkmenistan delegation request support, provide full support. The East Turkmenistan delegation arrived this morning requesting us to support their independent war against the Guangxi clique. I'm sorry, the Xinjiang clique. How should we respond? Provide them with weapons and gold on a regular basis at full support or on partial support. Where are they? And how does this affect me? No. Guess I can give them partial support, maybe? I don't really know how that affects us at all, but we can do that. Okay, so Indian Economy Act. Indian economy is falling apart. Archaic trade regulations, corrupt tax collectors, and an aberrant lack of foreign investment is driving a sword through the neck of the economic process, calling for the liberalization of the thriftiness of our nation. The merchants, business magnates, and industrialists of the Indus Valley are calling for reform to sweep the economic currents of the Dominion. The premier is himself not ill-disposed to the ideas, which include a broad range of privatization, tax reforms, and institutionalization of inflation controlling measures. However, such a strong dose of liberalism might greatly upset the rural poor that still constitute the majority. Okay, so trying to say, changes a lot of free trade. Increase construction speed plus 15. Resources to market 80%. Civilian intelligence to others. And the Navy intelligence to others. Political power. I'm thinking we just do a balanced economy and play it safe there. Really, I don't want to go too far one way or the other. Even though social conservatives are actually about the biggest party now. Gonna have to do solidified control, I think, to bring that kind of more under. I hate to spend the political power on that, but and then we can join the ISAC. Go ahead and do that as well. Maybe that'll bypass a focus for me. I need this research slot here. Can actually can actually get two. I can get a second one when I unify India, but that'll be a while, I feel like. Ban the trade unions, maybe? Alright, so I'm just going to continue working down this tree for now. So we can get it's November 1936. Royalist Siam has capitulated. And let's see, parliamentarian Siam. So let's see. They're authoritarian democracy, which is better than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be communism, to be honest, until I saw the parliamentarian part. Okay, so let's go ahead and do pocket defense. That'll give us out of supply minus 10% supply grace plus 48, which will be pretty good, I feel like. Let's go ahead and take the Enfield Ontario, and then that'll be probably it for a little while on military research. We're about to get our 6th factory like a year later. And stability is pretty high. Stability is pretty high. Party popularity 30%. War support 35%. That's not great, but like I said, we're just trying to reform a lot of this stuff. So we can send them some stuff. Somebody just capitulated. Decisions available. I think after this factory is done, I'm going to go ahead and start an intelligence agency. It'll take 30 days with 5 factories, so won't be able to produce much, but at least we do that. I really want to get off civilian economy too, so when I have the option to do that at 200 political power, I'll swap over to that, because it's just really killing me producing things, factories. Then of course we'll take the Punjab Ordnance Factory when that's available. Alright, so the forces are at least trained, and we're working towards a gun surplus. Only 1.1k required, so that's working. Support equipment about positive. Okay, so forming the industry. In the wake of our decision to restructure the landscape of the Indian economy, calls have arisen from labor activists throughout the Dominion that our government solidify the rights of both industrial and agrarian workers. Although the factories spanning the Khyber Pass down to Gujarat are relatively scarce, legislation in favor of the workers might serve to stem the tide of syndicalist influence seeping into our trade unions. However, the backbone of the Liberal Party is founded on the support of business magnates and wealthy industrialists. A group of fundamentally opposed to a strong and emancipated workers' movement, the government will have to take a controversial decision. Okay, so how long is this? I want trade unions. Workers protected by the government. Daily political power game. Boosted stability, boosted production efficiency. I'm going to do this. We're going to ban trade unions because I'm going to have to fight the communists, and I don't want them like getting more power in my country while I'm fighting them. So that's okay, I guess. And let's go ahead and do our civilian factories there. Get 2 of those. Let's see, did that factory finish up? It did, so I'm going to go ahead and do an intelligence agency to start gathering some intel. Intelligence Bureau. Let's go ahead and create the agency. Alright, we are moving along here, and I'm going to try to keep these episodes from 20-30 minutes, just because I don't have that much time to record. Okay, so Turkmenistan wants more stuff. Let's go ahead and give that to them, I guess. I don't really know the downside or the upside to that, and to be honest with you, I don't really know where I'm sending these guns, but it is what it is, I guess. So, Turkmenistan, where are these people? I don't... They're up here. I'll click. This down? East Turkmenistan. Okay, so they're here. It doesn't look like they have much of a chance, unfortunately, for them. But we did send them some stuff, so I mean, they can't really complain about that. Don't want to start naval quite yet. Let's go ahead and take improved machine tools to get our production up. Insufficient resources, unfortunately. We're about possible on guns. I'm going to swap one over to. We do that. I'm actually going to swap 2 factories to artillery. I think that'll be beneficial for us. I know I'll lose a little bit of production bonus on that, but I can also, I'll need a lot of artillery for the build I'm going to do on these 7.2s, and then hopefully 14.4s, because I have the manpower, I just don't know if I'll have the resources by the time I have to deploy a large army. I mean, I'd like to get 48 divisions to fight on both fronts, because I think probably one will attack either me when I'm attacking the other one, or they'll attack each other. I'm not sure how that works, but we'll just have to be ready for that. Okay, so we'll give them more stuff. Recruit head of intelligence. I need to go ahead and get on partial mobilization first. Still have 35% war support. Alright, so that should bump me up a little bit, give me some more stuff. Outdated equipment and production. Go ahead and swap over to the Enfield, Ontario. And then go ahead and take construction 2, get my industry going. Guys, let me know in the comments what you think so far. And if you enjoy the Hearts of Iron 4 content, I'll continue to make it. I know that Dominion of Delhi is not the most exciting nation, but what I have played, I've played a little bit of Germany, a little bit of Russia, and I'm not a huge fan of playing the majors on this mod just because it gets like really crazy really fast. There's a lot going on, and you can't really settle down into the story, because especially if you're playing Germany, it's basically everybody just attacks you. And you know, the Commune of France has so much manpower that you just, I mean, they've got already like 1 million, they're not even at war, so you just basically have to fight it out with them, and it takes forever. If you guys have played the Kaiserreich mod, let me know your favorite country, kind of what you think. And it's just such a cool experience, really, playing this. Not that I don't like the base game, but it's just kind of like, I feel like in the base game without the mods, you kind of know, like if you play Germany, you're basically going to take over the world. If you're anywhere a little bit competent with the game, I would be playing on a higher difficulty if I was playing base vanilla too, since I kind of know what's going on. But okay, so East Turkmenistan requests more support. Let's do not this time. I don't want to give them too much stuff. And let's hire a recruited officer here. Hey, let's okay, so Alaska leaves the Union. Ever since William Seward purchased Alaska from Russia, the area has been economically exploited and unequally treated. Push for statehood grew to no avail. The people of Alaska began to question their loyalty. The reasons to stay with the rapidly collapsing nation became fewer by the day, and the push for breaking off America grew increasingly strong. And now Alaska's become free. Why should Alaska fight for America? And it's never they never fought for a new dawn for the last frontier. Let's check that out. Let's go ahead and take the that agent. And Alaska is hopefully going to join the Entente, but they're Ernest Goering, Harvard graduate, and served in the Veldt Creek. So he is running that now. He's an old dude, so it looks like Alaska Progressive Party. Good luck, Alaska. You better join the Entente, or Canada is going to gobble you up. Unfulfilled import requests. United States, I don't know why I'm not for sure I was buying that from the Italians, but let's do Empire of Japan. Sorry about that, excuse me. And let's go ahead and do Excavation 1. I think that'll probably help us gather in some more resources and help their resource gain efficiency. And then 11 civilian factories now. So let's go ahead and prepare kind of what we're thinking here. We want to do the highest infrastructure. So 80% right there. No factories here. That's wild. Then we'll do a 70% there. I'm not going to focus on military factories for quite a while. I will get them through these focuses because I'll work down this side after I do that. So that'll get me 6 military factories. Then we'll develop the economy, and then I'll probably head over to the army section. Go ahead and do that. Alright, so March 1937. And we have our spy here. Build intel network. Defending against submersive attacks for now, I think probably is what we can do. Let's just leave her there for now and kind of defend against that stuff. I'm not going to move too far into the spy network yet. Let's do not this time, so they'll quit asking. Okay, so we built some more civilian factories. Big Civil War, United States. For years, America has been in chaos. But now it's final straw. America's erupted into the crisis that has not soon be recovered. Civil War has broken out. The second one in American history. America burns as an American Union state under Huey Long, Bill Hayward's newly established Combined Syndicates of America, William Murray's Constitutional American Republic, and the remnants of the federal government and the last bastion of democracy in the Pacific states of America go head to head. The giant is asleep for good. Okay, so they're all fighting each other. There's all those factions. Let's just take a look at that. I don't know. Okay, so we've got Constitutional American Republic led by William Murray. American Union State, which is huge. Western Command Center, Omar Bradley, puppet of the U.S. Pacific States led by Pacific Congress. And the Union State, which is really small. And then Canada took New England, I guess. And Douglas MacArthur leading the United States. Not doing well, though. So I don't know if there's really a reason for me to just send them anything. If I'd send them an attaché if I could, but Alright, so let's go ahead and finish building the civilian factory. So let's get 3 factories, insufficient resources, still need some aluminum. But that's okay for now. We're kind of building our civilian economy up a little bit faster, which is nice. I think next, probably going to take, I don't know what I'm going to take next. Really like to solidify more of the Indian Empire Society. I'd like to kind of build that up a little bit like I'm doing. So Panama joined the Entente. It's quite nice. They also seized the Panama Canal since the United States is fighting itself. I got the United Mexican States here, communist. It's unfortunate, I guess, for the United States, but I did debate playing Mexico and also the Deutsche Ostsein, something like that. I also thought about playing them too, just because I thought that would be cool. But I'm happy I picked the Raj for now. Let's see if I can pull off the war. I don't know how long this series will go. I'm not going to conquer the entire war or anything, but world or anything. But if I can retake India, and we'll see how the main war plays out while I'm doing that. I don't think I'll have too much to do in that, but start with the voice guys. Over. Alright, let's see what else we can do here. Let's go ahead and focus on the Air Force for just a little bit, kind of try to get some fighter aircraft going. We'll get some more of these military factories. I'll buy some aluminum and we'll get a small Air Force going. I think that's going to be pretty crucial to defend later on. Let's just see about, let's do some naval exercises. I don't know, old guard. So we'll take Humphrey here, the Admiral. Empire of Japan mobilizing against somebody. At war with, these guys, Brotherhood of Eurasia, so that's an interesting faction. We'll see how that goes. I was going to have Tibet would be by itself, so I could take Tibet over. King Edward's address, he addressed the nations of the Entente by radio, issuing a somber note regarding the onset of the Second Civil War in America. Heart goes out to the noble Americans who now find themselves called upon to fight against the forces of tyranny and oppression in their own homeland. He said, "For we full well know the consequences of their failure, as well as the terrible cost of one's soul when the enemy is one's own countrymen. Our alliance cannot merely grieve for the devastation. However, we must stand ready to act, for the fate of America is inextricably linked to our own. Should America fall to syndicalism, so too shall the Kingdom of Canada, and then us all." Okay, so Canada kind of talked about joining the Civil War there in the United States, which would be interesting. And we're up 1.2k guns, working on artillery right now. Like I said, I'm about to swap over my 7.2s here. Going to go ahead and do that, see what damage that did to me. That's 900 artillery pieces, 200 support equipment. I'll go ahead and put one of the new factories on each of those, and we'll just kind of start working that. I apologize, I didn't know that was paused. So we're training our Navy a little bit here too. 3 naval experience, 21 Army experience left. And have 110 political power, really not getting that much, which is unfortunate. Okay, so Russia is mobilizing against Emirate of Bukhara, which is down there. Interesting. Okay, so the Balkans are about to kick off, it looks like. People are kind of hopping in a faction here against probably Bulgaria, if I remember correctly. We'll see how that plays out. We have a lot of troops just kind of moving around our country, as well as some Air Force here. No airplanes in reserve, unfortunately. See what my events are. Not really anything.
They are.
And current fighting strength 52%. So that artillery may come back to haunt me. I'm hoping that we can kind of work through that little deficit before anything happens, because I really need to train up like at least 24 more divisions, I think. Because I think 17 can hold here, but it's going to take quite a bit to hold here. And we just need a lot of stuff. I really need to get on the ball, kind of securing some of this, but. Also working down mass mode. We're I think going to be doing an okay defending ourselves. We'll see, I guess. Also need Spanish Civil War. You have to read this. Ever since the defeat of Napoleon, Spain has been plagued by violence, dissent, and turmoil. No amount of pleading, didn't make it an appeasement, has managed to do more than paper over the cracks as tensions bubbled. Finally, they boiled over. The Spanish kingdom has been ripped apart by the three-sided civil war between the numerous factions: the loyalists of the Madrid governments, the supporters of the pretender Javier, and finally the anarcho-syndicalists and TFAI. Spain has fallen far. Alright guys, so it's June of 1937. I think I'm going to end this episode here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. If you enjoy Hearts of Iron 4 content, subscribe, and I'll keep it coming, and have a nice day.